everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. So I just have a small box set just up for review today. You might have briefly seen it in my movie room tour that I done a couple of days ago. It was the Stephen King collection by Midnight Classics. I've already shown two other editions of Midnight Classics. It was the Omen collection and the Halloween collection that they've done. They're an up-and-coming company. They bring out some absolutely beautiful editions. The boxes are very solid. They feel very like the Arrows limited editions that you normally get. This one is actually very, very limited. It's actually only limited to 1,000, and which I have 604. What drew me kind of to this box set was it was actually the movies that were in it. Normally when you see a Stephen King box set, you kind of go, oh right, they're going to put in the likes of Ish, or they're going to put in Pet Sematary. But in this one, they kind of put like, underrated Stephen King movies. So you have Cat's Eyes, you have Maximum Overdrive, which Stephen King actually directs, and you have Silver Bullet. Now, I've looked at all three movies in this box set, folks, and I have to admit, I was really, really surprised by it. They've done a fantastic job on the picture, on all three of them. It looked very pleasing. Cat's Eyes, if anyone's just wondering what it's about, Cat's Eyes is an anthology movie. It has 3 stories in it. One of them is called Quitters Inc., The Ledge, and General. It is. Now, the 3 of them are kind of connected. They're connected by the cat in the movie. There's a cat in it, naturally, Cat's Eyes. There's a cat, and I think he's called the General. And it's basically everywhere he goes. He's actually trying to get to Drew Barrymore from the start. And he's basically, so basically his journey to get to her is basically all the stories that he sees in between. So the cat just kind of connects everything up. So the first story you do get in it is Quitters Inc. And the absolutely remarkable James Woods stars in the movie. I really do think he is probably one of the most underrated actors in the world. He's so solid. He just brings I just love his character. He's such a great character actor, and everything I've seen him in, even on his poor movies, he still gives it his all. And so this film is basically James Woods. He's basically trying to quit smoking, and he just basically wants to, he's worried about his health and this, that, and he just wants to, he basically wants to prolong his life just so he can have a pleasant life with his wife and daughter and this, that, and the other. So he goes to this company called Quitters Inc. And basically it's the heights that this company goes to that basically make you quit smoking. And there is some great scenes in it, folks. There's actually scenes in it that actually reminds me of Father Ted. If anyone out there that's familiar with Father Ted, if you actually look at the episode where the Lent episode, you might understand what I mean. So then that brings us to the next story, which is The Ledge. Anyone that doesn't like heights, you probably won't like this film. It's basically the whole movie in a nutshell is a fella, for a wager, he has to make it around basically a skyscraper building. It's just for a wager and all that, and it's what basically goes on in that story is actually it's quite brilliant. There is a scene in it, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a scene with a bird in it, and anyone who's seen the movie, you'll know exactly what I mean. And then that brings us to the last story, which is The General. Now, I was reading up about this before. I don't think Stephen King wrote, like, these are all short stories of Stephen King, but I don't think Stephen King wrote the last one, The General, and but he did give it his blessing, I think. Which is very strange, seeming like, it's Stephen King's Cat's Eyes. It's a bit odd. But when you do watch the General has Drew Barrymore in it, which she's so bloody adorable in it. But it's the weakest of the stories. It's basically just this kind of troll that lives in Drew Barrymore's wall. He comes out and he tries to kind of suck the breath from her. Kind of reminds you a bit of like Dr. Sleep, funny enough. I'm just kind of wondering, did he kind of take, his ideas from Dr. Sleep, did he take some of that from this story? Because it does kind of remind you a bit of that. But it's just this troll. It's literally trying to suck the breath of Drew Barrymore. And I'm not going to say any more about it. But basically the cash that's been trying to get to Drew Barrymore basically gets to her in this story. And it's an okay conclusion, but it's definitely the weakest of the stories. The picture quality on it, Cat's Eyes, it's actually very pleasing. I was really, really surprised when you consider the movie itself. The colours are beautiful. They are. The greenery looks absolutely fantastic in it. The blacks are fine. The blacks are fine. Contrast really does kind of enhance the visibility. So it's a very clean print. Not only a few bits of specks of dirt here and there, but overall it's a very pleasing picture quality. It has a DTS-2 to 2.0 surround sound. It's fine. It's adequate. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's a bit thin at times, but it gets the job done. So I have to admit, Cat's Eyes, like, people kind of see it as a horror movie, but let's face it, there's not much. None of all three stories, none of them are really horror. But it's a fun movie. So then brings us on to Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive. Stephen King doesn't like the movie, but it has a massive cult following. I always loved Maximum Overdrive. From the get-go, I liked it. I actually liked its characters in it. Some very interesting characters in the movie. The transfer is actually very similar to Cat's Eyes. Again, very cinematic. It looks clean. It's very, very sharp. Contrast gets a bit washy at times, especially in some of the darker scenes. You get a bit of wavy kind of graying going on. But other than that, it still looks quite beautiful. But if anyone doesn't know what Maximum Overdrive is, it's basically, in a nutshell, it's actually an alien invasion movie. They've taken over basically all the electronics on Earth, and yeah, so that's basically that ish in a nutshell. So the whole movie is basically held at a trucker stop, and you basically get to see the side of their story of how they kind of survive it. So that brings us then on to Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet is it's a very simple premise. It's just a werewolf wreaking havoc on a small town, and then Corey Haim kind of takes it on to try and Corey Haim and his sister, that is in Gary Busey, try to basically take it out. Come the end of it. The film is very good. It's a very enjoyable movie. There is a few bits in it where you kind of go, I think the film, probably around half an hour into the movie, all of a sudden the town is very aware of this thing. There's some sort of creature. And they go out to hunt it, and then a lot of them get killed in it. And then it kind of just feels like after that scene happens, the town literally forgets. And then it goes on to Corey Haim's side of the story and him trying to deal with the werewolf. Which is, it's just a bit kind of, a little bit unbalanced there, because yeah, it just seems like the town literally had forgotten about it. They just kind of moved on, which is a bit strange. The picture quality is, again, another nice transfer. A lot softer than Cat's Eyes, this one. It does have sometimes the colours can look a bit washed out at times, but it's only rare. It doesn't happen too often. But the black levels more than make up for it. Which they actually do they do kind of look better than what Cat's Eyes did look. Audio, again, 2.0 channel, DTS channel, again, gets the job done. It's not going to blow your socks off either. But it's adequate, and you'll be very, very happy with it. So yeah, folks, just a quick just little unboxing. Just I wanted to show you again of this lovely edition, and I just want people to make people aware of this Midnight Classics company, because I have another two now coming. I have the Fly collection coming. I have what's the other one I have coming? I have the Fly. Oh, and I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre parts 1 and 2. Part 1 is actually a 4K transfer as well, and they just come in these gorgeous hard boxes, and you get a nice, some of them you do get postcards with, some you get books. It's just a very, very nice collection. And again, when you look at the spines of them as well, they all go well together, and they do some fantastic collections, so you should just check them out. If you haven't heard of them, please do check them out. Midnight Classics, Amazon Italy. So that is it, folks. It's just a quick, short video. I just wanted to show that box set off and just get people aware of this company, because they are fantastic, and I really do hope we see more from them. So that's it, folks. So as per usual, if you did like this video, please do give us a thumbs up, and if you can, leave a comment and let me know what you think of the movies. And I hope to see you all real soon again with my next video. So take care, folks, out there. See you soon. Bye bye.